Hey everyone, it's Friday here on Hands On Weekly, and this is Chelsea Malfoy, and I'm going to teach you how to make these cute Guro Lolita accessories for Halloween, so stay tuned. To make the eye patch, you will need felt, white felt, white thread, a needle, 2 old shoelaces or some white ribbon, whatever will do, and a little bit of polyfilm. For the apron, you will just need an old apron. This one I had laying around, but it can really be any type of apron you have. Or you can even make one with a square piece of cloth with some white ribbon for the band. And for both of them, you will need some newspaper and some red acrylic paint, because it will get messy. So first, for the eye patch, I cut 2 squares out of the felt that are approximately 2 1/4 inch by 2 1/4 inch, but whatever you think fits and looks nice over your eye. And then I cut another 3rd square that is a little bit smaller than the other 2. And then I have threaded my needle so that it is double the thickness of one thread. And the first thing we're going to do is take one of the larger squares and the smaller square and stitch random dashed lines across it. Now that we're done adding all of the texture to the pad, we want to sew on the back pad and the laces. So first, we're going to put down the back pad, and then find the middle of the shoelace and place it corner to corner. Then we're going to do the same thing to the other one. Then, with our texture facing up, we're going to set it down and pin the shoelaces in place. Then we're going to start stitching around. Pick a random inside so we don't see the knot. Whoop. Whoop. And then start stitching and back stitching. So there's one stitch, and try to remember and keep them even as possible. And there's the back stitch. Back stitching some more. I'm going to do this all the way around until I leave this one end open. Alright, now that we're up to the part where it is stitched almost completely around, this is what the back should look like. This is what back stitching looks like in the back. Now we are going to stuff the inside of it so it's slightly padded. So this is where our polyfill comes in, and you can also use scraps of felt as long as it's white and not colored. And we just want to put a tad bit in, maybe a little bit more, just to give it a slightly 3D type of look. I think this might be pretty good amount. Make sure it's even and not puffy in one area. I think this is good. And now we continue doing our back stitch. So and my thread's just a little too short to do the rest, so I'm going to rethread this and finish this, and then I will show you how to paint it. Alright, now this is what it looks like fully stitched with our sewn in extra texture. It's very squishy like a pad, and this is what the back looks like. This is the part your eye is going to be rubbing up against. And these are our super long strings to tie behind our head. So now it's time to paint it. So I definitely super suggest newspaper. And you can use gloves if you want to, but I just don't feel like it. Hands are washable. And you will need your paint. I am using Apple Barrel Burgundy because it gives off of a more dried on blood. You can also use Crayola markers if you wish, or you can use a paintbrush while doing this, but I like using my hands, so I'm going to use my hands. It gives me more control. So first dump out a little bit of paint. That's a little more than a little, but yeah. Make sure you have a lot of newspaper. And then dab a little and pretty much place it wherever you think it should go. And you can actually combine colors for even more depth. But see how the lines gives it that extra oomph? So I'm going to put in a couple more drops here and there. Use my fingernail. You can use any sort of tool you want. It's pretty much your own deal on how you want it, how bloody you want it, and the color of blood you want it to be. But I think this is good right here. You can even do part of the straps, and since these are dirty, which, well, they're old shoelaces, but I did clean them. They're just stained like that from the metal, but it gives it even more texture. But you can even put some more blood on the shoelace if you would like. I think I'll do a little here and there, but nothing too big. So once you've gotten it to the way you like it, you let it out and sit until it's completely dry to the touch, that it doesn't leave any red residue. And you're pretty much done. Now on to the apron. So for the apron we will need lots of newspaper, so we don't get our floor all icky. And we will need our paint right there, like what we did before. And here's the apron. And pretty much any apron will do. This happens to be a little more than a half apron. It's got a small top to it. And like I said before, you can use brushes or whatever tool you want, but I think the best tool is the one nature gave us, and that is our hands. So, I'm just going to stick my hand in the paint, rub it around a bit, and then just splotch it. And you can actually do handprints, and I think handprints are a lot of fun too. But like I said, this gets really messy, so be prepared with paper towels or whatever you think you'll need. Also a fun tool to use is a toothbrush, but if you want like little splattery pieces, but I'm just going to use my hands because it's lots more fun that way. See? Handprint. Awesome. And you pretty much put in as much paint as you think looks nice. By the way, sorry if you can hear that in the background. That's my bunny drinking. He's right behind you guys right now. But yeah. Make sure I don't get paint anywhere. Stay. Alright. I kind of like it now, but I think I'll add a little bit more. It's all about personal preference on how much blood you like. A little goes a long way, but personally, I'm a huge Gore fan, so a lot of blood's good. I think that looks about right to me. So, next step is, of course, to wash up. So, after you're done cleaning up, you just want to lay it somewhere that it won't get touched and let it dry for, I think about, depending on how thick you laid on the paint, probably like 4 hours, maybe 1 hour if it's a little bit light, not too thick. Like this light spray kind of stuff will only take, half an hour. So, this is basically your done apron, and I will show you the end result soon. And this is what the end result looks like. It can pretty much take any outfit and make it nice and gory just for Halloween.